Hey friends, welcome to another episode of Afterthoughts. I thought we would spend today talking about something that I wish more people talked about. As much as we like to encourage people to pursue side hustles and entrepreneurship, I think as social media has made it seem like it's always sexy. Like everything about entrepreneurship is cute. Even though I know intelligent people know everything is not always perfect because we've experienced it with our careers, right? So I wanted to talk about just what that experience is like. Like many entrepreneurs, I began my business journey with literally $1 in a dream. And my sales and marketing experience from my corporate career and my experience as a counselor and my degrees and Google. It's just like most entrepreneurs. I started from like the bottom, trying to figure it all out. And there is this element of joy that comes when you're pursuing something new. You're doing all the research, you're spending your evenings after your 9 to 5 trying to figure out, what do I do? How do I set this up? How am I going to market it? All of that is exciting. But even despite the excitement, there is this underlying fear. Oh my gosh, am I going to mess this up? Am I going to get this right? That is always there. And there's always this sense of anticipation that you don't know if it's going to go really well or if it might flop. Honestly, when you're just getting started, you really don't know, but you're willing to take the risk. And for that reason, I have so much respect for anybody who decides to try, whether it's you're trying by being a content creator, or you're launching an actual product or service-based business, or you're investing, whatever it is. I have so much respect for people that take that level of risk because it does require a lot. You may start, you're working your vision, you're doing everything step by step. And as you start to see things materialize, it's so exciting. When you see an idea that you had in your mind actually become a tangible product or service, it's surreal. And I know that a lot of people experience that, but when you're stepping into entrepreneurship, I don't think we take into account the level of personal growth that also is required as you move through the process. The type of resilience, the discipline, the ability to think outside the box. And entrepreneurship really does force you to address what your strengths are. Your weaknesses will literally slap you in the face, and it does force you to really look in the mirror, and it forces you to become a better person, whether you want to or not. I will say some people will choose to be better, some people don't, but most people, you will look in the mirror and you will say, okay, all right, I need to tighten up. Because if you are a solo, it shows up in your business, whether you want it to or not, especially if you're a service provider. Your habits will show up in your business and impact your clients. With all that being said, I'm going to share some of my entrepreneurship icks, the things that I have experienced that have literally made me say, what? Is this really happening? I have 7 in particular that I'm going to go through. So one of them, which is probably my biggest ick of all times, is having to serve as the bill collector for a client who is trying to skip out on their bill. This has happened to me twice, like 2 good solid times. After I provide a service, I do not want to keep chasing you. But I remember that one particular experience is what changed how I set up my onboarding system. So I adjusted my onboarding experience after that because I said, oh no, we're not doing this again. But lo and behold, it happens again. But this time it happened and it was a 4-figure amount. And the level of irritation that I felt for this particular situation, having to follow up, to call, to threaten with legal, I mean, it was just so much. And it's like, why do we have to do all that? If someone provided you a service, just pay for it. If you didn't have an intention of paying for it, don't sign up for it. I would say that's probably one of my biggest icks in entrepreneurship. The second ick, and this is, I had a client enroll in one of my online courses back when I was offering them. And they thought it was like a buy one, get one free because they were trying to share their login information with a friend or whomever. And why would you do that? Like, this is not Netflix. Like, why are we doing that? People, if someone took the time to develop a course, and that is very time consuming, and it is their intellectual property. It's not buy one, get one free. If it wasn't advertised as such, then why are we doing that? And then think that there aren't systems in place that alert the business owner that this is happening. Come on, guys, let's not do that. And in that particular situation, I did end up having to revoke access to that person because it was the only way I could genuinely stop it, because even after being addressed, they kept trying. The third one, I would say this is one of my top 3 for sure, is investing in a guru, only to find out that they're really just regurgitating what they Googled online, and there's no new information for you. It's literally just hype. I have invested, I would say, at least in 2 big time coaches to help me when I was growing my business, my coaching practice at the time, and only to find there was nothing that they were teaching that I didn't already know. That it was information that was easily accessible, whether it be through the experiences that I already had, or I literally could have just Googled it. They just had a sexy marketing strategy. If you are a phenomenal marketer, you could get people to buy just about anything, and it can literally be trash, like a terrible product or service. And when you realize that, you will go through extra layers of questioning and security just to make sure that you are doing your due diligence to invest in the right things. Because nobody spends that much money for a big service to not have some kind of ROI. I want to learn or know something. That's the whole point of me investing in this. And number 4, I would say, when someone is online telling you that all you have to do is manifest the thing, all you gotta do is think it and believe it. Okay, where is the step-by-step action to get there? Nobody is just like thinking something out of thin air. I'm not thinking about dinner and it's not showing up on my table. There's some work that has to go behind it. So I think that people should really stop just selling the manifestation element and really take the time to teach people how to do things. That's how you move the needle. So to my last point, I invested in this guru, and it was really just inspirational, no real steps, no real guidance on how to get from step A to step B. And I think that when you're an entrepreneur and you're investing in a coach, a consultant who is selling and promising a specific outcome, if their promise is something woo-woo, like, oh, you're going to have more clarity, that's a little more woo-woo. That's not necessarily a tangible outcome. A tangible outcome, if you're selling something like that, is, hey, I'm going to teach you how to increase your ROI by 10%. Okay, that is a tangible outcome. So if you are advertising that, then that's my expectation. So what are the steps for me to get there? Because my expectation is that I'm going to use that process and it should be repeatable. Okay, then number 5, if you are a coach, consultant, typically service providers offer discovery calls. You hop on the call with a client for a discovery call. They want to go beyond the time limit, so you have to put your foot down and say, hey, okay, this is literally 15, 20 minutes max. And then you go through all of this, you send them all the information, and they ghost you. Why not just respond and say, hey, I'm not interested, or I chose another option, or now's not a good time. If they've allotted a certain amount of time to talk to you, to hear about what your needs are, to give you feedback, to share more about themselves, so on and so forth. If you signed up for a discovery call, most providers are going to anticipate that you're interested in their service in some capacity. And maybe it's not a good fit, but you should communicate that. Then they won't keep following up with you. So number 6, when you're an entrepreneur and people view you as an expert, or people have watched you do different things and they see the success you've had, they see that you're making moves, all of a sudden they want to slide in your DMs and everybody wants to pick your brain. If you want to pick my brain, you can read something that I've written. You can follow me on social media. You could go to my website. There's plenty of opportunities to pick my brain in those spaces. But to reach out to somebody that you don't have a relationship with, to pick their brain, is absolutely asinine. The information that person has acquired came with blood, sweat, and tears. It is not something that fell from the sky and slapped them in the face. They put in time. The least you can do is just show a little bit of respect, honestly, and just make some effort to try to establish a relationship before you just think you could get something for free. It doesn't work like that. And then I would say I'm one of the non-gatekeeping kind of person because I genuinely want everybody to win. But at the same time is money. And everything that I have learned over the years did not come for free. I paid a cost. Then for number 7, this one is so annoying. You have spent as an entrepreneur months, maybe even years, in really building out an offer, whether it's a service, an actual tangible product, podcast, a book, and you spend all this time investing in this thing only for it to be a flop. That's going to happen. But that does not mean that it's not annoying. If you're fortunate, it won't happen to you. But I am willing to bet every business owner has had a service or a product that they have, or even a marketing strategy that they have tried that just didn't go well. And that's okay. You live, you learn, you take the lessons, and you make the adjustments, and you just keep going. So after experiencing some of these, I would love to hear, do you have any entrepreneurship icks? Have you had some situations or even experienced some of the ones that I mentioned that you would like to talk about? I think the more we have these open dialogues about the realities of entrepreneurship, the things that you actually do experience behind the scenes, it'll start to not only start the conversation about the realities, but will also give us the space to have conversations about some of the solutions. The better equipped we are, the better it is for all of us, especially as a solopreneur. If you're a solopreneur navigating things and you're not really in a space yet where you can afford to hire a full team to manage following up with your clients to collect invoice payments and things like that, then yeah, it's nice to know what systems people have in place that they're willing to share. So that is it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, follow me over on Afterthoughts with Agnes over on Substack, where you can share and drop your comments there. I'd love to hear from you guys, and I will see you in the next episode.